Hi, lovelies. So, for some reason, I did not make the second part of this video diary series until over 7 months after the first one that you probably just saw. If you haven't, I will probably put a thingy up in the screen, either here or here, probably here, I don't know. So, I realized as I was editing that first part, I was probably high when I was filming it because it was a few months before I went fully sober, a few months before I quit drinking, and then definitely more months before I quit smoking weed. So the pauses and stuff were so evident. But in this one, I am fully sober. I haven't really watched it through yet. But yeah, I am going to get through this series, editing it, and then once my record is on Spotify and streaming services and stuff, upload my supplemental media, like my little Canvas videos and things like that. And I also do want to put it on SoundCloud. I would have to get my Artist Pro account back. I spent so long having an Artist Pro account that I never used. Now it's such a waste of money, but I might get back on for 1 month just to upload those there. And then I am probably going to take a little bit of a break. I'm announcing this like right in the beginning of the series. I'll probably reiterate this when I'm editing the last part and uploading it, but I'm probably going to take a little bit of a break for a while and then get back to making just regular content, just fun content at first, and I'll probably get back into the brain dumps and the story times and stuff like that, because I do really love doing that and I feel like it's good for me. My counselors and family approve. And yeah, and then also, of course, finding venues and gigs and open mics and stuff to perform, and obviously applying for South by Southwest. So that's kind of my plan that I'm randomly recounting at the beginning of this video. Also, hi, I don't know why I held the camera so freaking close to my face. Also, Tiny Sailboat is out, and I realized, I think because I made all the lyric videos in one day and my brain was so fried, especially near the end, I actually made some mistakes in the lyrics on the lyric video, in the official lyric video. So hopefully when the project goes onto Spotify, I'll be able to alter those lyrics and put the correct ones on there. But I feel like a lot of times Spotify is known for having the incorrect lyrics on there anyway, but I just wanted to point that out, that there are some tiny little errors in the lyrics. And I also made an error while singing the song. I made a lyrical error that I will talk about in a future episode. But yeah, episode 2. But here is episode 2 of the Tiny Sailboat Chronicles. Mwah! Hello, lovely people. So this is an attempted continuation. This is episode 2 of what I was hoping to have more episodes of, and this is one of the videos that is not going to be uploaded until after I finish my project, which I'm trying to remind myself I can do within a month. I am setting myself the goal of having it done within a month so that it can be done by the time I apply for South by Southwest, because I'm doing that regardless, but I really want to have a completed project up by then. So before I have to get ready for work in a few hours, I am going to hopefully finish recording vocals for the last song, the last thing that I have to record vocals for. And I'm still a little overwhelmed by everything that has to get done. I need to record vocals for that, record piano for I think 3 songs, and then after that it is just editing, basically narrowing down vocals, comping slightly to get like the best takes of everything. But I am kind of weird because I do love a one take. Like I do have that one take thing of like I really just want to try to get it all in one take and have that like honest performance that I feel just encapsulates it from beginning to end. But I will probably end up comping like vocals for basically everything, but I'm doing everything in Clipchamp, just like video editing software, not even like specifically audio editing, because I never really ended up learning how to use my digital audio workstation, FL Studio, even though I paid for the premium version and I spent like too much money on that considering the little use I've gotten out of it. But I just did my live instrumentation and everything. And for the first 2 songs I recorded, I used a metronome, but then everything else I ended up recording without a metronome because I just felt like it sounded more human. It's gonna obviously probably be less polished because of that, but like hopefully it'll sound more honest and feel more real. And I'm just doing like a 1-track vocal for everything. I probably am gonna end up wanting to do some harmonies and stuff in places, but like with the layering, I just don't know if it'll end up sounding good. So it's gonna be a pretty cut and dry production, very just like demo version of everything. At some point in the future, I might have my friend add drums, but for now, I just really want, if I just have the bare bones, like that'll be okay and enough, and I just want it out. And I took photos and recorded like supplementals, like canvas videos and stuff for this like months ago, and we'll need to upload that as well. But yeah, then after I finally record everything, which I'm almost done with that, I'll just need to be editing and yeah, comping vocals, layering everything. I think I still need to edit a guitar track for a song, and I'll need to do that in order to record the vocals for the last song that I need, so I actually do need to do that first. So it is kind of overwhelming, and in the meantime, I've been kind of focused on that in addition to having started my new job with, you know, the past couple weeks, which I've been really, really liking and enjoying. And then once that's done, it will be easier, I think, because I'll have a finished EPK by then, I hope. And I'll try to hopefully book an interview with the local college radio station. I don't know if I'll be able to have that done in time for the South by Southwest application, probably not, but do that and apply for like local venues beyond just like open mics and stuff. Hopefully do like some paid gigs, and even if it ends up like not happening soon enough to make a difference with the South by Southwest application, it'll just be good for me and establishing myself as an artist and, you know, feeling more legitimate and getting my name out there. I do really need business cards as well. I played a gig yesterday at a garden party. It went really, really well. I have so much air in my stomach because I had a little bit of banana bread, but I am hungry again. But yeah, once I get all that done, then I will definitely return more to my writing on my same website that is like for music and everything. I'm also just posting like blog posts and yeah, articles and essays about different things. It's kind of been leaning a little more towards like political commentary, and it probably will continue to do that, like political and social commentary. I started brainstorming and outlining a piece about the Charlie Kirk assassination and what that means and the response to the discourse about that and censorship and everything. And it says a lot that honestly, like, I am scared to finish it and publish it, even though like I always am going for empathy and nuance in everything that I write. And in addition to being a musician, I want to work in digital media and be a journalist, but it might just be best for me to end up working for myself, even though that is going to be a harder road, and I know that, but like I am just so afraid of being fired. I'm afraid of being fired from my like barely above minimum wage retail job, that I finally found a job that I really like and I'm treated like a human and not an indentured servant. And I'm actually afraid, like, are they gonna get rid of me because of this, even though I don't even really have any eyes on my blog yet? Because yeah, if you know about the Washington Post reporter that got fired for her tweets about, well, it was on Blue Sky. I don't even really know what Blue Sky is, but apparently that's like a thing. But she basically tweeted about the situation, and in my opinion really was not even hateful, not celebratory by any means, but just kind of pointing out the hypocrisy in certain people's reaction to the situation, and she got fired for it. So yeah, I am nervous about doing that, even if I were to craft, you know, a nuanced, empathetic argument and observation. And that might affect people's opinion of my music and if people want to book me, because yeah, it is going to be all on the same website. I feel like just me as a person and a personality and what I stand for and the art that I make, I feel like it's fair to just have it all under one name. It's all me. And it'll probably make things harder for me, but I don't know. I don't think it's productive or helpful to silence myself because of that, especially, if I'm speaking from an educated, well-rounded place of research and trying to balance both sides, which is always my goal in pretty much everything that I write. I mean, I don't know how well I always communicate that. But going back specifically to the project, I've realized as I've gotten back into recording vocals for everything, I haven't written a new song in a few months. I kind of write in spurts, and I am, at 9:30 p.m. tonight, I will be officially 10 weeks fully sober from everything, which meaning booze and weed, 10 weeks off of weed specifically. I am 4.5 months off of alcohol, and being newly sober and then singing these songs that I wrote when I was like in the throes of addiction, and it is like a different thing, putting myself back in that, and I'm not really in that place anymore, and I'm grateful for that, but it is important for me to still, keep that as part of my journey, and this project was conceived through the creative drought and the depression and coming out of everything and accepting those dark times and embracing the present and wanting to live, and my sobriety is kind of the beautiful way of like closing that, even though I didn't write any of these songs when I was fully sober. I also ended up, originally it was going to be 8 songs, but I ended up taking 1 off, which I may end up just posting on here, just like a live version of that. And again, it's called Pathetic, and it's basically about being frustrated with the emotional attachment that you still hold towards a former relationship that like there's no way of knowing that you're ever gonna see that person again or have another chance or know what happened to them. And even though you did have like a good amount of closure at the time, and still that level of attachment with like a first love and stuff, and that frustration, and it was important for me to write, and it was very cathartic at the time, and it really like represents where I was at the time. But I felt like the sentiment is a little harsh, and I don't know if it's super helpful for me to sit in that too much anymore. Which is funny considering some of the other songs that are going to be on this project, and yeah, I just don't know if it necessarily fits. I went back and forth on it for a bit, but I decided I don't really feel super represented by that anymore, even though it did represent me at one point in time, and the other songs don't necessarily represent me at this moment anymore either, so it's not a super congruent thing. But yeah, it's been an interesting shift singing from the place in which I wrote some of these songs, and I'm still just so freaking proud of them. And yeah, Tiny Sailboat, hopefully will be released by Halloween, because I have until November 3rd to apply for South by Southwest, and I'm shooting for November 2nd at the absolute latest. So I think I'm going to try to warm up my voice. It is 10 a.m. and I also am going to see if I even have a freaking track to sing to, and I might need to work on editing that. So yeah, I don't know how many more installments of this I'm going to have for you guys, but I wanted to have a little like behind the scenes ish thing. Yeah. And then maybe we might do like a story behind the songs type video. That'll release once it's out. And I don't know, we're just kind of making it up as we go along, but this was something that I got an idea for and I really like the idea of. and these are all very in the moment. I don't really plan or script these at all. But that's kind of where I'm at in terms of my writing and my music. And yeah. Hope you have a lovely day. Hopefully the project is out by now at the time you're watching this, and if it is, go check it out. It will be on my channel, and it'll be on Spotify, and it should be on my website. Go check out my website. I also post random essays and articles there. And yeah, we're just reconciling with the fear and anxiety of sharing our opinions in this world that feels increasingly dangerous, but also when you have like low-level PTSD, most likely, haven't been diagnosed, but when you've lived through like traumatic events and being held at knife point and having your life threatened, it gives you a warped idea of like what is dangerous and what level of danger you should not be actively putting yourself in versus, living fully and expressing yourself. And that line is a weird one to walk, which I also have not really written about, but I could definitely explore in the future. That'd be more of a personal essay. So yeah, I'm just kind of rambling. Yeah, tiny sailboat. I wish you loveliness. See you later.